Alright, what's going on, y'all? I'm back again here. This time doing a build video. We're getting ready to put together the stroker Falcon, right? So just showing you all again here how clean this Falcon looks, right? Y'all can see ports are looking good. I'm not even going to touch anything when it comes to porting it. I'm going to just leave it the way it is. Everything is looking clean in here. And then you look on this side, everything is looking nice and clean. I dig it. I'll do this whole little read, this style jug here. So we're doing a 48 by 45 running 85 cc. I think it's like 82, 83 somewhere in there. So I got a CR85 pipe that I'm ready to put on it. I have a scale as well, so I'm going to balance the crank. Alright, I got the piston, the bearing, the wrist pin, the piston. I need the circlip, so I gotta get those. I think I have a set. If not, I gotta order a set of circlips so that I can do this proper. And then we'll be able to balance that. So we're gonna be doing this in phases. I'll probably break this up into a couple different parts, but I'm gonna show y'all here how I'm gonna put all this together and put this little stroker Falcon together, right? So we're gonna start with. I'm gonna clean the case up here. There's some previous gasket maker on here that I have on here, so I'm gonna clean all that up. We're gonna prep the case. We're gonna get the bearings installed. We're gonna get the crank, not get the cranking yet, but at least just get the bearings installed, get the case ready, get all that going, and then we'll move on to weighing the crank. I'm just using some lacquer thinner to just break this gasket maker off. Just enough for me to be able to use a regular gasket. Trying to get all this gunk out here. Some of this stuff sticks real good. That's why part of me doesn't really like using gasket maker. I just like to use regular gaskets just because some of this stuff is a pain to get off. Generally it comes out pretty easy, but sometimes it can be a bit of a pain to take off. But it looks like we got everything off that we want to get off. Put this on here to the side. So, it's like this. I'm going to take these gloves off because they ain't really working. Too thin. Them gloves are too thin. Alright, so I'm going to get some of this brake cleaner now. Too, and we're going to clean this up here a little bit as well. So now, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bearings in. I have a little quick way of putting them in. I mean, most people, you guys like heat the case up and all that. Some of y'all would probably laugh at me the way I do it though, but it works pretty quick. And it's pretty straightforward. But what I need to do, I think, real quick first is I need to make sure that these are clean. I thought I had a little brush, but I don't think I do. So we'll just clean it up in a second. I remember I had a brush somewhere. I don't remember where I put it though. But shaking it in here cleans it up really well. Just get some grease and put some grease in there. I want to make sure it gets cleaned up real good though. Kind of see a bunch of dirt that came out of this thing. Get a clean one. Alright. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, we'll get that down there. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll get our grease. Here's our grease here. We'll grease up these bearings. Like I said, I'm going to grease this one up and I'm going to put the seals on it here, right? So that way we have our two seal and then our two that are not sealed. Glove on better here. Alright, there we go. Alright, and then so now we have our grease on this side. All greased up there. I'm gonna move some of this around. Get my finger off. Get it all spun up. Alright, so we got that side greased up, nice and done right there. I'm going to go back, obviously, to the other side. Repeat as necessary, or repeat as needed. Or just repeat, my bad, just repeat. This is always a fun part, right? The tedious part, but gotta make sure you do this part here. Let me get this cleaned out real quick here. Alright. So there we have it, right? Got our grease on both sides of the bearing there. Got that all good to go. So now we'll put our seal on each side. Clean this up here just to make sure there's no grease residue for my fingers. Alright, here we go. So that's bearing number one. So this is where it gets interesting, or how I like to do it here, right? So this has always worked out for me very well. Some folks might call me crazy, but it has worked out amazing, right? So we're gonna do the clutch side first, right? So what I generally do is press it in as much as possible. Make sure it's evenly pressed in. This is evenly pressed in as much as possible. So now, see, I have a 1-inch, right, husky socket, so it covers a whole. You can see here how it covers the entire bearing, right? So what I'm going to do is take that bearing, then I'm going to take this socket, which is a 13. I'm going to put it inside, right? And I'm just going to hammer this, and you're going to see how it's just going to go in pretty quick. See that? And it's all the way in. Alright, making the gasket. Here we go. plastic's about there. So that's good. Alright, so we got this put to the side then. Let me put this back together. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to move on to the crank, right? So I did find two 10mm wrist circlips. So I'm going to use those to weigh the rod, right? We're going to weigh the rod, we're going to weigh the bearing, we're going to weigh the wrist pin, and we're going to weigh the piston, and we're going to weigh the circlips, right? Because I did see that I have one here, and I believe it is a 10mm circlip. Yep, it sure is 10mm. Okay. So I have another one that I can use. So I'm going to end this one here because this has been pretty long one. I got to edit this out and whatnot. So we'll cut here. That was part one. Right, part one was getting the bottom bearings in, making the gasket, and getting the bottom end ready for the crankcase, for the crankshaft. Right. We'll move on to part two here next.